You're saying Zhuge Liang was a woman?
Yep, I was pretty shocked as well. And Liu Bei was interesting, but in a very good way. Well done for getting that Miximax, JP. I can feel your new confidence from here. Thanks,
Glad to see you're all raring to go. Now seems like a good time to aim for our next target.
Yeah?
Our next player is Ryoma Sakamoto.
My namesake?
Chapter 7. Feud for Thought.
Ryoma Sakamoto? Who's he when he's at home?
Why, he's a super skilled midfielder with a heart as wide as the sea who can provide a bridge between attack and defense. Seeing as Sakamoto famously negotiated peace between old enemies and founded the Japanese Navy, he seems like a good bet.
Ryoma's the man. You've got to Miximax me with him, Mr. Ebbs. We share the same name for a reason.
Good point. That's settled then. We're talking the Bakumatsu era of Japan, the civil war between the shogun and emperor in the 1800s. But there's one more player there.
Really? Who? Not that I'll know who they are.
Who else? The genius swordsman Soji Okita.
Wait, did you say Soji Okita?
Our sixth player needs to be an ultra-fast striker with lightning pace for making daring attacks, which describes Okita to a T.
You're dead right, it does. He was the best swordsman of his era. Lightning speed and daring was his signature style.
Wait, so correct me if I'm wrong. I thought Okita was on the Shogun's side and Sakamoto fought for the Emperor. They were enemies.
Not my fault your guy was on the wrong side. Okita protected the streets of the capital city for the Shogun, which is pretty cool.
The problem, as always, is the artifact. What we need is a hardcore collector who specializes in this landmark period of Japanese history. Actually, on that subject, have you had the chance to play Samurai 11 yet?
Samurai 11? I don't think I've heard of it. Is it any good?
It's all the rage right now, and it's definitely your kind of game. We play as this team of footballer samurai during the Bakumatsu era. The story's based on historical fact, but the gameplay's really original, and the developer was none other than Will Glass.
Will Glass from the Spyglass Hackers? No way, that's such a weird coincidence.
Then he sounds like a good place to start. He must have done his research. Come on then, Spitspot.
Hold your horses. Willie's in Inazuma Hospital right now. Sorry, I mean Will. I keep forgetting he doesn't like to be called Willie anymore.
Oh no, is he okay?
I certainly hope so. I've been meaning to visit him actually. I have a get well present for him. If you're going there, could you take it to him?
It would be our pleasure. Ladies and gentlemen, put on your best bedside manners. We're going for a visit to Orléans in France.
And I wish I was kidding, but nope. We are genuinely going to Orléans in France first, before we visit Will Glass in the hospital, or Willie as he's better known. But I must first point something out in that sense, because I already went to the hospital in part 11 of my own violation. I can remember it's part 11 because it's the famous thumbnail episode, of course. But yeah, I went to Ricardo's house and the hospital just for the sake of exploration. But you don't have to go to either of those places until now the hospital becomes a required area. So I can just skip travel there because I've already been there. But if for any reason you playing along at home have not been to the hospital yet, then the way to get there is to go to the shopping area and then head north through an alley of shops, and then you'll find your way there if you don't end up at Ricardo's house first by mistake. So that's where you need to go. I will of course be using the Y button and just selecting the hospital on the map, but it's not hard to find, you know, it will guide you in the right direction. Now, this conversation topic has actually gotten really funny on the Inner Link because Gabby, oh, don't be saying more stuff, says someone dropped their house keys on the bus. Just let me know if they're yours. And then 3 different people come forward saying they've lost their keys. And he's like, I only found 1 set of keys. I'll just bring them along later. And it's like, right, how bad are you all at losing your keys? I say, while I'm in the process of losing my circle pad on this capture board in between recordings. It started falling off. This happened to my 3DS XL from playing too much Smash 3DS, and now I'm very sad to see that it's also happening to the 2DS that I make my recordings on. But with every move I make, it feels like I'm breaking the console, and that's just a little bit upsetting, but it is what it is. I'll cope, it still works. Anyway, the reason we're going to France is to pick up a very valuable item, and this item has been there from the moment we first arrived in Orléans, and the fact that we've skipped over it is entirely my fault, and I've no doubt that there are plenty of YouTube comments telling me that I've missed this important item and that I should go back for it, and it's taken me until now because before I've even got around to the comments, I did actually find it myself while I was playing Wildfire, my backup save file that I also record all the Soul Daystar content on, and another form of exclusive content which we're going to be going into sooner than you think, actually. But yes, so I discovered it by myself on my other copy of the game, and that is where Gabby had his conversation with Joan. By the way, there's an item here with some vitality boots in it. You can actually go back in here, and right here is a treasure chest containing the Special Tactics Thunderbolt. You want this. If you watched my Let's Play of Go 1 or played the game for yourself, you will know that Thunderbolt was a story-required special tactic that relied on Victor, and it was just busted good. It was so good. You activate it from the bottom half of the pitch, and then you just kick it up to the front, and then you have possession of the ball right in front of the goal, and you can just take a shot. It's that good, and it only uses about 50 TP as well. Thunderbolt is so good and will help you in any football match that's 11-a-side. All you need to do is know where it is. You could have had this 2 chapters ago if you were vigilant, but I've just picked that up now. The other thing on this castle top, what is this stone? The parallel stone gives off a strange aura, and this is kind of tied in with the whole Chrono stones theme of the game. These have now been splattered all across the world, and genuinely you could go to plenty of different places like the Owari province and the hospital where Dave Evans was found, and just anywhere like that. Even Sanctum has one of these. Any pretty much historic area probably has one of these things for you to check up on, and they all have different things you can get out of them. For example, this one in France lets us see 3D models of what Goldie and Sky and Jade and Rosie look like in their French uniforms, and similarly there will be another parallel stone in France which lets you see some of the male players in their French clothing. The camera's a bit restricted, you can't see the top or bottom of the character models, but you can spin them around and zoom in and out. And they're also terrible at reloading back into the main view. So most parallel stones do something like that, but others are a lot more valuable. And I just love that Prince Charles is here, by the way, out in the open. Some of them actually contain goal celebrations or even special moves that you may want to add. Like really good ones, like for example, if we went to the Saints Way Stadium, we could get the special move Shot Stopper, along with a really entertaining conversation, but I'm not going to spoil it. At the same time though, I'm also not going to do it right now, and in general, if I see a parallel stone, I'm unfortunately forced to ignore it. And the reason for that is I need to make a comprehensive video later into the series showing where all of them are and what all of them unlock. So therefore I need to do them all in one sitting, and some of them in the post game are even version exclusive. So I can't just do it on Wildfire, for example. And there's absolutely tons of them. If we were to go off and do it right now, we'd be at it all day. But there's some fantastic conversations and rewards and goal celebrations and all that. So if you're playing along, I would suggest just having a look around the overworld. Go find some parallel stones. I won't be able to show you them until the end of the series, but in the meantime, just find them and you can get some really good items. Maybe not as good as the Special Tactic Thunderbolt, but, you know, stuff that's worth checking out. Now, meanwhile, the fake Prince Charles over here has a competition route. This is the Inferno route. We haven't even finished Steve's competition route yet because it was getting me over-leveled. I'd love to complete it, but I'm already way too high in level right now, never mind doing more matches. Just look at the amount that you can do as well. Like, good grief. There's the Orléans, and we've got this ticket from beating Zanark's Domain. Well, we didn't beat them. We drew with them. And that unlocks a rematch with the Terracotta Army. Again, good rewards, lots of experience to be gained, and there's even a lower route down here as well that we can't do yet. This game allows you to get so over-leveled. Excuse that sound for a second there. But yes, you can just do as much competition routes as you like almost. They give you tons to focus on and you can get as high leveled as you want. But again, I can't be doing the parallel stones right now because I need a video on it, and I can't be doing the competition routes because I'm over-leveled. But I hope you see the potential for what you could be doing right now if you were playing along, especially because a lot of the dialogue in this area has changed to reflect the fact that Joan has been the saviour of the world and well, the saviour of France, certainly not the saviour of England. And yeah, and even Ryman School and even the Owari province has new dialogue to read. There is so much to be gained by just walking around. It's not fit for a Let's Play, but it's certainly fit for playing on your own, and I'd highly recommend giving that a go. Instead, we need to go see Mr. Glass in hospital. Almost, because I've ended up getting into a random encounter with artist of the Otaku team. Whoops. Tell you what, this might be... I lost a command duel to a level 8 player. Oh no. So Bylong's Miximax fighting spirit is something we haven't showcased yet, so this might be the most over-the-top way possible to do it, and I've misclicked. And now it takes you 8 seconds to bring out the fighting spirit menu again. Wow. Miximax with Chuga first, and it's going to run down his stamina a great deal as well, because Chuga just uses up stamina so fast. Bylong's appearance really doesn't change all that much. It's not like Soul Daystar who changes completely. But yes, fighting spirit this time, bring out Sika. Because I remember saying in the match actually that it gives you an exclusive shooting move, but that was a mistake. It gives you an exclusive dribbling move, which I'm trying to get into a command duel to do, if you don't mind. The Tempest is a very good dribbling move, although that's not really what you'd use Bylong for. He's a forward, you want to get goals with him, and just having a fighting spirit alone is plenty good enough for dribbling, so I have no reason to use Sika in combat like that. So I'll just use it on these poor guys in old Inazuma School. Poor Felt. I mean, he was the final boss of one game, so that justifies using a fighting spirit on him, right? This encounter wasn't even the reason I came here. The reason I came here is because there's a silver chest in the club room that I could have collected genuinely ages ago, and it contains the God Hand. I'm never even going to use it, but I just wanted to pick that up. It's also a chance to say that one of the chests I got in that French bridge was a silver chest as well. I neglected to mention it at the time, but yeah, you need to have S-ranked a certain route on Steve's competition route to do that. And yeah, that entire bridge in France, by the way, you don't even get to explore that unless you go there on purpose, because the story required match that you do in that area, no, we don't. Yes, we do need to time travel back to the present before we head to the hospital. Yeah, like, when you're doing the match against Protocol Omega 3.0, as soon as you walk through the door, it just puts you straight into the match. When there's that entire explorable area with treasure chests, a competition route, all sorts to be done, but you're not even required to go there. I mean, you're required to go there, but you're not required to walk on it, if you get me. Anyway, we're going to check in on Will Glass in hospital now.
He really does look ill. Do you think he's alright?
Mr. Glass, we have something for you. Well, actually, it's from Celia.
Is that what I think it is? The limited cosmic edition figurine of Lovely Lane?
Wow, he recovered quickly. He was so busy at work developing his games that they were sold out by the time he got to the shops.
Yeah, he was so distraught he barely ate for weeks.
And you're saying that's the reason he's in here?
Arian, you're a godsend. You've saved my life and reunited me with my precious Lane. So, what are you lot all here for anyway? Oh, I see. I can lend you all sorts of 19th century Japanese treasures. I've held on to quite a few. For research purposes, of course. Actually, how about this? It's a photo of Ryoma Sakamoto.
Wow, so he was a real guy? Is this photo an original? It must be worth tons.
Indeed, it was rather a challenge to get hold of. But they don't call us the spyglass hackers for nothing.
Well, we'll try not to lose it, alright?
He must be the most energetic sick person I've ever seen.
Yeah, at least we got our artifact. Let's go and install it. Well, let's not leave yet, because weren't we playing football with you just minutes ago? But about 10 years younger, I would say. What an interesting coincidence. That worked out way better, worse than I ever would have expected. But anyway, this whole detour is quite funny. Like the Samurai 11. Oh yeah, there's definitely no inspiration for that whatsoever. No YouTubers would ever cover that as a Let's Play series.
Will you be needing any assistance? Nope. You just sat there and look pretty.
Oh, Goldie and Bylong are getting together. Let's go, lads. The best male character and the best female character. Now, that's actually lets me talk about a fun comment that I got in some of the earlier episodes. Somebody in the comments, I wish I could remember their name, but they asked me, what's your favourite character that was introduced in Chrono Stones? And because it was so early in the series, I didn't want to give any spoilers, so I just said, you'll meet her soon enough. But saying her led everyone to believe, oh, it's Goldie. I mean, who else could it be? And little did they know it was Katsu. Everyone thought it was Goldie, and I've kept that secret until, I mean, people have probably figured it out by watching the chapter. But yeah, I've led everyone to believe that I was such a big Goldie fan, and I am. I really like Goldie, but I like Katsu even more. Anyway, so that is very much beside the point. This entire episode has been beside the point, to be quite frank. But in the next one, we will be heading to the Bakumatsu era to see if we can meet up with Ryoma Sakamoto. Let's just have a wander around the hospital as tribute to Soul Daystar, who is absolutely not joining us in this Let's Play, and Camellia Travis, who is absolutely not married to Mark Evans in this game either. That's the thing, they don't address Mark as being married to Nelly or Camellia in this one, because they couldn't know which one you played, but by virtue of Bylong being in Thunderflash, you have to feel like this one follows the canon of Go Light, and therefore Mark is married to Nelly. Sorry, Cam. Right! Next episode! Something important! Goodbye!